And, it made me think, well, this is probably the last chance he might ever get to. If something does go wrong, I'm an infantrymen are the ones who are in the British military, certainly the ones who are being taken out. He's the last time maybe he's going to see me, and it made me feel a little bit. I should have listened to his advice. Maybe I should have been a technician instead of a combat soldier. But it reminded me that, even though the family was split, we were still a family unit. It just wasn't traditional. I was happy to see him there, but I was also a little bit heartbroken at the same time that he'd never shown me that kind of emotion before.
So it took the potential loss of a son for him to give you the attention that you craved.
I think so. He's got 3 sons. I'm the middle one.
I was going to say, you have a twin.
Yeah.
You have a twin brother, right? So what's the dynamic there? Did your dad play favorites between the twins?
Well, he didn't, because he was kind of absent after our teens, but he certainly likes the older son. They very, very close. He's a banker as well, actually. My twin brother, he is very different to me. I'm quite gregarious. I like to talk. I like to make friends. I like to do things. He's a lot quieter than me, but he's a lot smarter as well. He's really, really smart. He went to university in London, studied history, and now he works for the British equivalent of the NSA and doing all sorts of secrety things. So he doesn't talk about it. I'm not allowed to ask about it. He's super, super smart. I got the sporty thing. I was in a 200-meter sprinting team, but I blew my knee out from running too fast. But I got the speed back. So we look alike, but we're quite different. He's smart. I'm fit, and then I think the favorite son was the older one.
Seeking that fatherly love and guidance, did you develop any father figures in your unit before departing to Iraq?
Yeah, Corporal Mark Hill, definitely. And I knew Mark a little bit before joining, because Mark worked at in Gloucester. There's a factory that makes undercarriage for Airbus aircraft. And my father's brother, my uncle, worked in the same factory as him. They were on the same shift. And so Mark Hill and my dad's brother Dave, they work on the same shift. So I knew him a little bit. I had met him before at country fairs and those sorts of things, and so I knew who he was. Oh, and I went to the reservist centre. I kind of knew him a little bit anyway. So I had someone to talk to. And of course, when you're brand new, you gravitate towards the person that you know a little bit, and you get to know them a little bit better. And as my service progressed, even though it was quite short, we actually became quite good friends, despite the fact I was 19. He was 46 by the time we deployed, so he was quite a lot older than me. But he was definitely the father figure, and not just for me. Even though he was just a corporal, he used to be in the Grenadier Guards, which is a fine British regiment, and everyone's seen them because they're the ones who stand with the big bearskin hats outside of Buckingham Palace. He used to be in them. So he was an excellent soldier. He knew everything. He knew everyone, and as far as I'm concerned, he never made mistakes. He was the guy to go to when you need a problem. When you had any kind of problem, I wouldn't go to Sergeant Major. That's who you're supposed to go to. I'd go to Mark.
That's what I love about the Guard. I joined the National Guard in 2010, and once I got into the Guard, I realized it is a community. You're around folks for decades rather than just 2 or 3 years before you PCS off to your next location. It has its pros and cons. Its cons being, if you make a mistake or you did something silly, it survives throughout the years because you're seeing the same folks.
Getting a reputation for life. Yeah,
it is. It's a reputation for life. So there is that piece where the social gossip sticks around, but at the same time, there's a love and trust in that community that I think that young soldier, that 19-year-old soldier, I feel like you succeed, or your chances of success are so much better knowing that you're in a community and you're not some random 19-year-old all by yourself in some unit far away from home. So I'm glad that you had that experience, because I noticed that with my airmen that I worked with, being able to be there for them and mentor them and know that one day they're going to be in your shoes. For instance, multiple young enlisted folks from my unit in Charlotte, North Carolina, started off enlisted, and then they became officers, and then it became pilots. So I have the full faith, 20, 25 years from now, they will be the senior military officer
They'll
in
be the
charge of that
mentors.
in set charge of that unit. So I do love the construct of your unit seems very similar to mine.
Yeah,
But
I think that's really important with the reserves. I mean, it's not just a military unit; it's a community.